is where it all goes. Ping pong.
Yeah, good.
We are live, drinking coffee instead of wine.
Mm-hmm.
In the archive for that one, mate.
Yeah.
We'll save that one. Raining good?
Yeah, feeling good.
He's on it now.
Yeah.
Back on it.
Destroyed.
Had a good little session this morning.
Yeah, what'd you do? Do you have that really cool bulletproof vest on?
Yeah, mate. Weighted vest.
Yeah.
It's 10 kilos off. Extra. Got a good sweat on.
Yeah?
Can't do it road running anymore. Knees don't like it. Oh, man, knees.
Genuinely.
Knees are like, nah, stop road running, idiot.
Oh. I don't like road running anyway.
Because I used to carry weight, you know.
Yeah. Still carry a bit of weight.
A little bit. Carrying Deontay Wilder weight. That's why my legs don't work.
Yeah. That was a shit excuse, wasn't it?
What a shit excuse. Come on, mate.
You got to do better than that, haven't you?
Yeah. Just, what? He would have been better off to going, yeah, he beat me.
Well, he did. He beat the brakes off him.
Oh, he smashed into pieces, didn't he? But his little video was fun afterwards. I'm going to rise like a phoenix.
Oh, right, yeah.
Warrior. I'm going to fight to the death. Yeah, not. Yeah, boxer.
Yeah, you got issues.
You've got issues, mate, and you got destroyed by the Gypsy King.
Yeah, and that's fine. He's a good boxer. He's the best.
The best. But yeah, he's put in the what's it called clause, isn't he? The rematch clause.
Yeah.
Number 3. Can't be bothered with it, mate.
No.
Not invested. Number 3.
I think I'm one of many people that say that Tyson actually won the first fight.
Yeah.
And there's no doubt on the second fight.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, his legs are tired. His legs are tired, which in turn perforated his eardrum.
Did he?
Yeah. By all accounts, he's medically suspended for a few weeks to make sure his
equilibrium.
Yeah. But yeah, some big fights on Saturday.
Yeah.
Stylebender.
Mm-hmm. Did you see the last face-off thing when Yoel Romero did the somersault?
42.
Wow, could be older.
Even.
Yeah, he doesn't even know.
He doesn't even know, mate. And he's got like 2 kids that are like 27 and 26.
Yeah.
All the kids. So many kids. I'm interested in how are they gonna screen the Chinese lady that's fighting?
They're gonna screen her?
Yeah. Coronavirus.
Oh.
Can't be spreading that shit.
Only if she's been back to China.
That's where she trains and lives.
Is it?
Yeah. Beijing, mate.
I guess she would have had to then.
You'd like to think so. They wouldn't just let her. Oh, there's a strain of it over here now, as in down the road. Milestone Studios, I found it. Just found it there.
Yeah, right.
What do you mean? They found it there. I think there's a lot of media scare tactics on that.
Yeah. Is there something going on? Gonna go Eddie Bravo on you? There's something they're trying to distract us from.
Well, possibly. Turkey and Libya kicking off again, aren't they?
Are they?
Yeah. And Russia have said, all right. One of their little drones got shot down and stuff. Whoa, knowledge, mate. But it's like they're all worrying about this coronavirus that's killed 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hey, how about you sort out the flood defences, because that's worse.
Yeah. Hereford's been underwater, mate. It's unbelievable.
Hereford's underwater, fucking Yorkshire's underwater, Shrewsbury's underwater. Fix it.
Yeah.
We're right down south. We're right.
Is there a river near you?
River Medway.
Oh, okay.
Do your geography. But yeah, down at the bottom of our village, there's that flooded a little bit, but nothing about you.
Yeah, Hampton Bishop was literally underwater.
Well, I was trying to say this to Kit because obviously we came up to visit, didn't we? And it was a bit flooded down the old Love Flats.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, but this could be absolutely a dream.
Right.
A bloke used to zoom about on there when it used to flood when we were little on a jet ski.
Yeah.
He definitely did, didn't he? I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't just go, "Hey, Kate, bloke used to jet ski down there."
Definitely
Happened.
Yeah, and on the Bishop's Meadows.
Yeah.
And when the floods were at their worst, because even Ledbury Road was flooded because of the brook.
Yeah.
There was a guy in a canoe outside Tesco Express.
What, getting his meal deal?
Well, no, Tesco was closed.
He's got to get his meal deal. You're back in a minute, Tom.
Oh, I got told a story as well. This is so Hereford, it's unbelievable. So, a guy in sort of the Fownoak, Hampton Bishop area was, he wanted his newspaper and he couldn't get on the roads or anything, so he rode his horse.
What, a cowboy?
Yeah, across the field. Or the fields. He rode his horse. Ha! Can you imagine that? Come on, Tonto. Not Tonto.
It's my horse.
Hmm?
Where are you going, lad? Scared out of my horse.
Ah! Ah! Yeah, brilliant. On his horse, though.
Guest of the year said he's going to come back on sometime next week.
Mason?
Yeah. Said he wouldn't mind coming back on before his fight and then possibly afterwards. So
Okay.
like, get amongst it. True to his word.
Mm.
That's all we will say about that. Yeah, it's all been good down here.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot's been happening because it's just Corona and that.
Mm.
Did you watch football last night?
I watched the second half of Arsenal.
Did you see him get Gendouzi?
You got booked for being sarcastic.
Brilliant. You did have dickhead Mike Dean refereeing though.
Yeah.
You did. Picked up the. It was like, all right, I'll put it over here then.
You booked him for dissent, but it's not dissent. He's just being sarcastic.
It's almost as good as when Gaza got booked for
booking the ref.
Booking the ref. Good times.
I'm just checking something. Yeah, Mike Dean was on Crouchy's podcast. I thought it was him. He seemed all right.
He's quite funny, actually. From what I've seen, he's good chap.
Mm.
So, in our football news, I'm just waiting to hear back from Yeti. Those of you that listen to the podcast, listen to Joe Rogan's podcast, who talks a lot about the Yeti stuff. They do smokers and coolers and all that sort of stuff. So what they're going to do is, what I'm guessing, I'm still waiting for a reply, because they've asked for our logo as well. So I'm guessing they're going to stick our logo on it for us to auction off.
Oh, nice.
Should be pretty good. Y Valley got back to us. They're going to give us some beveraginis.
Nice.
Yeah, just still waiting to hear back from some other sponsors in the pipeline, but good. It's going quite nicely, really.
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about this game, and the reason I've sort of upped my training, it's going to be really hard.
Yeah.
Like if you've got players like Pascal Chimbonda playing,
who's also said he's going to come on the podcast. Just a quick one.
Yeah. Well, we'll see, but but even if they, they're 75% middle-aged players, they're like. I've been watching like the feed. I don't always interact with it on the WhatsApp group because sometimes too much. But
too much sometimes.
I'm just wondering, is everybody taking it as like? Because I don't expect us to win the game. I don't expect or anything like that. I'd like to. Don't get me wrong. But we are a group of people who are not going to be training together. We're not. Some of us have never played football, even near where the other people played football, against a group of ex-professional footballers. Now, I don't think a lot of people understand just how much better they are than you.
It's so much better, mate.
Because if you just stick a semi-pro sort of veteran footballer into a regular Saturday team, they look like Messi in that team. Now, these guys were all playing in the top league in the country, stroke potentially Europe at some point. So they must have been good enough.
Pretty good, I'd say.
So
French international.
Yeah. So so there you go. I just think that because I've offered to do some training programs and stuff depending on what people want. Nobody took me up apart from you on that. But I just hope that people are going to be physically prepared for it as well, because even if they're out of shape, they're going to be stronger than the average soldier. Should we put it that way? In terms of football strength. Yeah.
One thing carrying weight up a mountain, there's another thing holding a player off while you.
Yeah, and knowing how to do it, etc. Yeah. I remember playing with Dodge at Peggy, and somebody went in to do Dodge because he was obviously running the show, and he just turned his foot a little bit, and the guy ended up hurting himself.
Yeah.
Little things like that. It's on a football pitch. It would be the same if we were playing a rugby team. We've all played rugby, but
yeah.
I remember playing cricket about 10 years ago because we had in the what?
At the Barrels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a load of people in there were saying, we were all like pretty decent sportsmen. Blah blah blah. We'll beat any sort of amateur cricket team going. Nah. Didn't happen. We got walloped. Albeit most of us were getting pissed anyway.
Cricket,
but cricket, and you'd think, cricket, bit of a shit game, bit slow, not a lot of physical performance needed.
Fucking hurts when you launch a ball, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kick someone's head off, mate.
Yeah. I went up to bowl, and obviously when we were at school, played a little bit of cricket, not a lot. Too boring for me, too slow. But because I've got a long throw, and I could bowl really quickly, and used to do it in the old nets for PE. By the way, crossing the fingers. Yeah, I used to get on all right bowling in the nets. Thought that I could do an over at least. Maybe get a few wickets with an old speed ball. Mate, after a couple of butties and a long old run-up, I think the ball went about head height the entire length of the wicket. and no, well, it wasn't even like aiming for the wicket. This was going at the guy's head. Not on purpose. I just I hadn't bowled a cricket ball for 10 years at that point, and just thought, oh yeah, I could do this. Nah. So I only did the one over. A couple of wides on there as well. Tried doing the outside spinner. But anyway, going back to PE, I was thinking the other day. I texted you, didn't I? I said, I've got a few things I want to bring up on the podcast. And there are a few things, and hopefully they just flow one into the other, and I don't forget. I've got notes on my phone if I do forget. Things that wouldn't fly today.
Yeah.
Now, we all remember the pants and vest thing, but that in PE, I think.
Oh, you better go in your pants then. What?
I don't think that ever happened in our sort of era. Not that I can remember anyway. But at Bishop's, they had the kit bin.
Kit bin was disgusting, mate.
Like, why? Like, that wouldn't fly today. You couldn't just tell some kid to go and put on damp, stale, sweat-ridden other people's kit.
Tiny rugby shorts.
But you just couldn't do that for like coronavirus reasons. But why didn't they? They must have had washing machines at Bishop's.
Yeah, so used to wash the first team kit, and
yeah.
Why didn't they just? It didn't.
Why didn't they just wash the spare, like, lost property stuff?
Because it was as though it was a punishment, though, wasn't it?
And I get
that on then. Go on.
Yeah, but
I forgot my boots. Are there some boots over there? Nah, they're size 4. I've got size 27 feet.
Do you remember there was that kid? I'm not sure if he was your age or if it might have been younger or older. I can't remember. But the head of PE, who shall remain nameless for possible legal reasons, he made him play rugby in his school shoes, and he slipped, and somebody tackled him, and he snapped his fucking femur.
Now, it wasn't my year, but that sounds...
He wasn't even like a regular rugby player, I don't think. It was just PE.
PE. You will play in your school shoes and no grip on the wet, slippy mud.
Yeah, and it was like the grass would be at the moment. It was awful. And he snapped his femur. Pretty sure there was an air ambulance.
Eesh.
Maybe it was a year above me.
That's outrageous.
It's things that to me doesn't seem that long ago, but I suppose it was. I mean, it was 20 odd years since I was at high school, but it doesn't seem like that. But it doesn't seem that long ago that I was walking from mum's to go there. But I remember people just getting ripped for stuff, which I bet that doesn't happen so much now. Like I remember the same sports teacher literally ripping the one student because they dyed their hair sort of David Beckham blonde. No, it wasn't me. They dyed their hair, and he made like a big thing out of it, bullying him basically.
Oh yeah.
And
Tommo?
Me?
Yeah, but getting your ears pierced by another teacher.
Who I think is still there actually.
No sideburns.
No sideburns. Top of the ear job. Yeah. Well, I went in, and he told me to take my newly pierced earring out, and I said I've got permission to have it taped because it's got to be in for so many weeks. And he said, in my day, you would have been considered a puff if you had your ear pierced. And I turned around and said, well, it's not your day, is it?
Do you think they still get given press-ups as punishments?
I don't know. I'll have to ask. I'll ask Georgie.
Hang out. Me and Chris Smith. He loves getting a mention on this podcast, by the way. Chris Smith. we had to do 100 push-ups because we were hanging off the tennis courts, the basketball court, the ring. You know,
outside
the playground. Hanging off that. It's just 100, Tommo. What? On your knuckles? On my knuckles?
I think I remember on the episode with Chris, you were talking about that.
Yeah. Nick Dabo, first 15 captain. Don't worry about it, Nick. It wasn't you, mate. Just me. It's not jump up there. I know I could jump high, but 10 foot there.
I used to be able to grab the ring on occasion, not every time.
When
on a good day.
When I started playing I remember Bev used to love this name, the Hereford Hawks. When I played for them, Bev loved it. I dunked a couple of times, and I tried it in a game and just fucked it up. I'm not going to try that again. Good time. But yeah, definitely. I don't think they can do press-ups anymore as a punishment. Just 20.
Something else. Oh yeah, but remember wouldn't have had
gym and that in there now, have they?
Yeah, but George was saying that they've got rid of a load of the kit, so I don't really know. Don't know.
They haven't got a rugby team like they used to, though, have they?
I don't know. So a teacher before you started at Bishop's, he left, I think, when I was in year 8. I remember, I think it was Dan Maitland was chatting. We were just getting ready to start rugby. And he, because he was talking, his back to the teacher, got pinged in the head, American football style, by a fucking medicine ball. I shit you not. I don't know if it was Dan or if it was somebody else, but I'm pretty sure it was Dan. Yeah, he got walloped in the back of the head. Couldn't do that now.
Oh no. Definitely not. Definitely not. I'm trying to think of other things that you they definitely can't watch you shower.
No, that was weird.
Yeah, a little bit too weird. Now you think about it.
Yeah.
Bit weird.
But I don't know if they still get away with this. I remember doing work experience at Bishop's, and the fridge in the sports hall office place was just full of beer.
All the beer.
And they drink it. I don't know to what extent, but Bradley always had indigestion, didn't he?
Always.
I'm not saying that he's the sports teacher, but he always had indigestion, didn't he? And that's a common trait if you drink a lot of ale. And there was always a few cans of Tetleys in there, mate. Always. But I don't get that. Like, how'd you get away with that? Even then. Just did, I guess.
Just did, mate.
I remember I had to do press-ups in science once because, you know, the tongs for holding the test tubes?
Yeah.
I'd made a spinal column on Lydia Stevens's blazer. Loads of them, mate. Yeah, loads. Yeah, that was push-ups in. He only gave me 30.
Easy, mate.
Do you remember him? I can't remember his name, but he had really short, a bit receding hair, really strict.
No.
And you know what else I see all the time in Waitrose? And he sort of looks at me as if to say, I know you. Is it Mr. Smith? Wasn't he in Cheshire? And he was also a science teacher.
Yes.
And he was a cock.
Massive cock. I was talking to Kate the other day about Mr. Leonard.
Oh, Lenny.
DT teacher.
DT and form tutor.
Used to love it when there was a fight on the playground. He
did. Yeah. He bloody did, didn't he?
In fact, he watched Tom Hancock smash the shit out of Darren Robinson in DT.
Yeah.
One of the best fights I've ever seen. Wish I had popcorn.
I remember Phil Donkin elbow smashing Jack Gwilym up against it was like a UFC fight. He had him in some sort of clinch. We're playing basketball, and something happened. The next thing, Jack's got his Phil's fingers are like this long. He's a big old boy, and he had Jack, and he was just literally forearm smashing him right in his lip, and Jack had a brace, so it was just blood. It was awful.
It's funny. I remember. I can't remember his name now, but there was a group of lads that were really like Chris Smith height, and they think they were good at basketball, but they weren't. But they were playing on the tennis courts and on the basketball courts on the tennis courts, and one of them was gobbing off to I can't remember who it was, but he picked up the basketball and bounced it off the lad's face, but he just had his braces tightened. Fucking all his teeth came out.
They came out?
Yeah, they were just hanging by the braces, just hanging there.
Oh. I remember at college I got asked to leave because there was this lad, I can't even remember his name. He was only there for a little bit. He was just a bit of a cock. He was one of those people who, you know, when they'll come in and they'll tell you something that they did at the weekend, you go, liar. No, you didn't. You didn't do that. It didn't happen. And we were playing basketball, and I was driving into the paint, going for a layup, and you know how high I can jump anyway. And I could just see it, like literally the old eyes down, saw him, and I slam dunked in on the top of his head, and it hit the roof. I slammed it like that, hand above my head, and kapow.
So you shacked him?
Yeah, I didn't like him, so the ball hit the roof of a sports hall.
That's a big.
It was a whammy.
Please say you went whammy after you did it. Wham!
And then I got asked to leave. So I did.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that wouldn't fly these days.
Trying to think of the other stuff.
All soft now, isn't it? In retrospect, it's a good word.
It's all soft, but also it's all stuff that like you can laugh about now. At the time, it was a bit like, what?
Yeah.
Are you sure? But we never questioned it though either.
No, it was just.
For example, if well, I suppose it comes down to having a bit of respect for your elders, maybe. But like, not one of us ever would have thought when they go, "Give me 100 press-ups." No. And then it'd be, give me a no. What are you going to do?
That's the thing these days, isn't it? Like, I tell you, when I talking about respect for elders and what have you. So the kids around the area that I work have zero respect.
Mm-hmm.
So, to be fair, they made a rod for their own back by putting the signs up that say "Be a courteous cyclist." Doesn't say anything about not cycling. So these kids cycle about, fine. But then they start popping their wheelies and almost hitting little kids with it. And you go over and speak to them, and they just don't give a shit. They're like, "What are you going to do?" And honestly, nothing I can do. There's nothing.
No.
Not like the olden days where you give them a little slap around the head or something. I fucking want to. When they're doing their wheelies, I want to grab the wheel and just throw it. I called one of them a dickhead the other day. That was almost a bad idea. Luckily, there was no cameras on it. You can't call me a dickhead. Just did. I could call you a lot worse, you little fat fucker.
Yeah, so sort of segueing off like sort of old school memories. Oh, one last one. Do you remember when the drama studio was built and you hadn't started Bishops yet, but you came to give me a hand because I was a GCSE drama student? And I sent you down the stairs in a box.
Yes. In the new studio, wasn't it?
Yeah, but you. So, well, you might.
The weekend.
Oh yeah, it was, wasn't it? Just carrying costumes that smelled like moths.
Why? Why is it always the same costumes?
Oh, I don't know. So I was thinking the other day about the lazy summer holiday parenting.
Go for it.
Do you remember we used to get given like £3 a day? And we'd have to go, we get dropped off at the swimming bars, or sometimes even have to walk.
You would have to walk sometimes, or get the hopper.
Yeah. And we'd have to spend the entire day at the swimming baths.
All day at the swimming bath.
I mean, value for money, but I'm pretty sure Dad just went golfing.
Oh, yeah. Because we were banned from golfing because he broke the golf club. The
cart.
Yeah.
Well, there's a few sort of segues we can go on here. We'll keep the swimming bars up here for now. Yes, we did crash at Berg Hill, I think it was. I think it was Berg Hill. We crashed the golf cart. And then he blamed me.
Yeah.
If you remember. Because he crashed it and we went flying out the side.
Was he pissed?
I don't know, but he went off-road, didn't he? To go and find his ball. Through the, like, I don't know what it's called in golf. The trees. On the side. Where it's rough. There always seems to be a fucking orchard on a golf course for no reason.
There is no reason for it.
There's an orchard. So he went off looking for that ball. Who else were we with?
I've no idea. I just
It
remember
wasn't.
being us.
Yeah, it wasn't just us three. There was somebody else because of
one of his mates.
Yeah. And anyway, he crashed, and we went flying out, and then he blamed me. And then children weren't allowed to drive him after that.
Yeah.
Brought in a new rule. And also, for some reason, I feel like it's over at the sort of tech college, sixth form college, Ayleston field.
Yeah.
Where we always used to go.
Park up here and golf balls and leave me in the car. Leave me in the car. You get in the car, boy. Yeah.
Yeah, pretend you're driving. But the thing is, you can do that now. Just give him a phone. You didn't have a phone. You were just playing, I'm driving.
I'm driving.
And how you didn't knacker up his gearbox, I don't know, because I guarantee you changed the gears and didn't use the clutch.
I wouldn't be able to reach the clutch.
But what I was going to say, I don't think it was there. I think it might have been Berg Hill again, because for some reason, Dad got me golf lessons. And I'd do my lesson, and then me, you and Dad would just go, well, Dad would play golf, and I would try and repeat what I'd learned in my lesson. And you had to go, and you swung the golf club, and it hit me behind the fucking ear.
You deserved it.
But I think I was facing the other way, and you just sort of swung it back, and I just felt this almighty thud right behind my ear.
Probably deserved it for something. I remember Dad used to let me drive the car, so we'd be going to Berg Hill, for example, and you go, come on in, boy, and then I'd be steering. Sometimes almost way into a bush.
So back to the swimming baths. Yeah, so that would be that was like every day. Well, it felt in my memory it was like every day, or quite often, unless we were shipped off to Auntie Tina's, and we spend a week there. But like in my memory, it was like every day, and it would always be like you got your £3 or your £5 between the two of you all day.
All day. I'll get you chips.
Yeah, I'll get you chips. Not a bad way to spend every day, but also give me something else to do. But we got. It
would have been like George. You would have been like George's age.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit older, and I was like maybe Jess's age, maybe a little bit younger.
Yeah.
Just go off on your own. It's fine.
Yeah.
go and cycle to Morgan. Fine. Where have you been all day? Oh, playing in the river. Oh, have you?
Yeah. I remember I went fishing once and didn't tell Mum. She went apeshit. When I say I went fishing, I didn't do any fishing. I went with Mark Lewis, and then she always used to go berserk at me because I'd always go off because all the kids around by us when I was probably Jess's age now were all older, 4 or 5 years older, but I'd always try and keep up with them. I got 4 things. One was I'd always go to the quarry about this time of the year, and it was flooded at the back. And you go down the Snowman Hill. Why was it called the Snowman?
I was talking to Chris the other day about the different names of these hills. I can't remember. Snowman Hill.
Snowman Hill, and that had the little hump that you could do a jump off, which at the time, Stranger Things style, you probably thought that you were flying through the air when you just did a little jump. But if you went, and it was always like an adventure when you went to the quarry, because you'd always find little bits, maybe a porno mag, but you'd always find you'd find little bits that you hadn't explored before. And I remember cycling through there, and it was like quite boggy. Then all of a sudden, I was 50% underwater. And I carried on cycling, but it was very slow and getting very sort of wobbly. And I remember having to go home and explain why I was wet to my nipples.
Coronavirus.
Mum went ape shit. She went ape shit. There was another time that
excuse me,
Mark and Simon being older than me, cycled out to the lug, down from the lug, on the lug flats where I used to go running, but down towards the river there.
Yeah.
But obviously, being Jess's sort of age, maybe a bit older, so I'm going to say probably around 10.
Yeah.
Never explored down there before, because you don't take into your navigation skills aren't there. Like going past Bishops, don't go that far. I go as far as Hampton Dean School, up to the quarry or Gorsty Lane. That's my sort of. I know where things are. You know, it was always an adventure. If you go to bloody Goldsmith Close around the corner from where I live now, and that you got the roundabouty thing. It was a little cut through. Mental. It was mental because that was an adventure. It's like, ooh, I don't know these people or these houses, but it's just around the corner from me. You know, just opposite where Rob Hartland used to live, that cut through.
Yeah.
So anyway, we go down to the River Lug. I had some blue, what can only be described as rugby short, but football shorts, Adidas, blue ones, white stripes. I never saw these again because we went down there, got in the river, went for a little swim in the river, danger.
Dangerous.
Went back. I'm not sure if Mark was even supposed to have gone or Simon. So we put our stuff in a carrier bag and hid it in his shed. Never seen those shorts since. Never told Mum where I'd been. But I was frightened for years afterwards that I was going to get found out. Years. I was frightened for years.
I went on a little adventure with Will Colgate to Morderford, where there was a rope swing into the river.
It might have been Morderford that I went to. For some reason, I'm thinking it was the Lug Flats, but it might have.
And I didn't let go. Went straight back into the tree.
Yeah, so there was the time that I went fishing with Mark, and Mum didn't know where I was. Obviously, no mobile phones around at that time. I'd been gone for, didn't seem very long, but it was probably hours. But obviously, being a parent in that time when you can't contact your kid must have been terrifying. Where's my little boy gone? Has there been a man in a van?
You would have been, to quote Brendan Sharp, if they've got turtle toys, just take me away. It's fine.
Yeah. But I'd gone down to off Hampton Park Road, that part of the river. Gone with Mark. He'd taken all his fishing kit. He was obviously okay to go. He stayed there. I suddenly realised, shit, I should probably go. Went to leave, put my foot on some mud and consumed my whole leg. So I had to go home with like a dirty leg on my Amelie white bike with green handlebars. And Amelie or Mel? I don't know. Got home to Mum. She went apeshit. There's a ongoing theme to this, isn't there? Mum went apeshit because she A, didn't know where I'd gone. B, I was filthy. And C, I think I may have tried bending the truth as to where I'd been. I think that's how it went. It was either that or she turned up. But I can't see her turning up because she didn't drive at the time.
Didn't drive until.
So going back to the swimming pool, We got, considering we'd never been trained, we got pretty good at diving and doing acrobatics over. I feel like it was every summer. It was probably only one summer. But we got pretty good at diving. We got pretty good at bending the rules as to what the lifeguards would let you do, what they wouldn't let you do.
Kicked out.
Yeah, kicked out. Yeah. Kicked out a couple of times. That was always awkward because you have to go to the phone box then and use some of the money that was meant for your chips. Dad, can you pick me up? Why? Been kicked out. What do you get? And then you'd obviously, what's the drive from Lisle close to, so call it 15, 20 minutes. The whole time bricking it. Like, in retrospect, I don't know if it was true, because in my head, Dad was just furious all the time. Any time he did anything wrong.
Like, to me, he was always furious.
Yeah. But I'd like to know if afterwards, once he'd given us a bollocking, if he went downstairs, spoke to Mum, was like that. They were kicked out for moving.
I do it now.
So do I, but I don't know if, like,
I laugh at
I don't know if Mum and Dad's parenting was to the same degree or not. I don't know if Georgie thinks that I'm angry all the time. I don't think she does, but
I think the girls think I'm furious at times. That's why they don't like telling me stuff. But
yeah,
I was doing it the other day where Jess had done something and it was annoying, and she was just being annoying, and it started whimpering and whinging. So I just laughed in her face. I was pointing at her and laughing. She's like, "What are you laughing at?" I was like, "You're ridiculous." It's ridiculous.
So I'm not sure how much this was a thing after the sort of conversion of Hereford swimming pool to the leisure pool, but I think it was. But I've got great memories of that swimming pool.
Brilliant.
Especially the diving pool. And this is going to make you go, oh, yeah. When they brought out the inflatable.
Yes.
The big Pluto.
Yes.
And also, yeah, you got half an hour. It felt like forever. Trying to get on the fucker.
Making you
and
really...
But also, there was always the bigger kids that could always get on there, and they were always throwing people off. Also, the inflatable slide off the top board. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that one.
Oh, mate. Health and Safety 101 here. It was a slide that they clipped on somehow, inflated it, and you just went up to the top board. Didn't matter how old you were.
No.
Slide all the way down to the Olympic diving pool, which I don't think, it might not even be there now. I think they might have just closed it. Health and Safety. Can't go on the diving board anymore. But when the inflatables came out, mate, or when it became the leisure pool, when it was either summer holidays or if you were like me and you were the pirates of the leisure pool, because you spent every day of the summer there, when there was a party on and they had the floats out, and you'd steal one. The two of us. The two of us. Like, the Brothers of Destruction started there. I'd sort of lift you out of the water onto it and then just move you about.
Oh, fucking good time. So expensive now, swimming.
Yeah.
Why is it so expensive?
Don't know.
Too expensive.
Yeah, I think that's the extent of what I was going to talk to you about. It was just, I can't remember if I was listening to something or if I just came across that thought, and I think I've got a note on here. Hang on.
I saw on the other group
pod.
You've got Perth was furious, wasn't it? The spot all left in the gym.
Oh yeah, that was things like that.
Smoke.
Things like that. I do not understand. Like that whole gym culture thing. Like I don't get it. Like made in the gym. No, you weren't. You made in your mom's belly.
Womb.
I don't. It's another thing, right? I was kind of reserving these things for when my new project comes in. It was just going to be a segment. But nipple vests, though.
I don't get it.
Who puts those on and goes, looking good? Not even those massive guys that are obviously not on steroids. They just take creatine, mate, and eat 12 eggs an hour.
The only person that ever looked good wearing one of them,
Hulk Hogan. Oh, Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes in White Man Can't Jump.
But he didn't even look good, did he?
He did.
Nah.
In his hat.
Yeah. No, I do that sometimes to annoy people at work with my hat. Point it up.
What a brilliant movie, though.
Yeah, great movie. Also, I work with people who haven't watched Boys in the Hood.
Why?
Because it is quite an old film now.
Yeah, but it's classic.
Yeah. Some people haven't watched Scarface.
Some people haven't watched Dirty Dancing.
Yes, and they should.
We're not going down that road again.
No. Yeah, because I was walking around the kitchen the other day and I quoted, "I ain't African, you African booty scratcher." And they're like, "What are you talking about?" I was like,
Max him in the face with a pointing stick.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know it.
You say it's on Netflix. Go and educate yourself.
Yeah. I didn't say that. I said you should watch it. But yeah, that whole gym thing.
Just wear a t-shirt.
Like nipple vest, yeah. Okay. You look dumb.
Or is it a normal vest that they stretch?
I don't know. I don't know.
Not me,
but what else don't I like? Oh, I got enraged the other day. Nearly ruined my day. It was a simple thing. So there was a guy. It was, in actual fact, he probably saved me because my legs are still hurting from my leg day last week. Today, still hurting. But I was doing legs and I thought, right, what I'm going to do, I don't like machines, but I will use them to finish off my sets. I'll just max out, put it on a medium weight, max out on a leg extension, a leg press. Can't bring myself to use the open close leg, the adductor and abductor machines. Can't do that because yeah, the gynecology machine. Because the amount of women I see on there thinking that that's going to make their legs smaller, just it's not going to work. But doing like 1,000 half reps, like it burns it, but yeah, but you look stupid and it's not doing anything. It's not doing half the things you think it is. So yeah, I was gonna finish off on like a mega set, just complete to failure on each of those machines. And there was a guy, bear in mind, this was at like 7 o'clock in the morning. He'd taken a power bag and 2 kettlebells. He's obviously doing legs. And he's put the power bag on the floor. This is bothering me, by the way. I can't train with the general public after having my own gym for 10 years. He put the kettlebells Well, he started off doing the leg extension, so I was like, okay, I'll do some more squats while I wait for leg extension. He gets off after doing his set on the leg extension, puts the kettlebells on the leg extension machine as a bit of reserved for me, puts his foot on the power bag and does lunges. Static lunges, 1 foot. How big's a power bag? This big?
If that.
It's doing nothing. If you want to do a Bulgarian split squat, hey, tell you what, go in the other room and use the bench, which is how you do it. Don't completely make one machine obsolete for the entire other population of this gym right now. You might as well have got a reserve site. It fucking made me mad.
Blood red.
It's like I get it if you're doing like 3 sets of 10 or 5 sets of whatever and you stay sat on it, fine. But don't put your kettlebells on there and he's not even using them. I should have just gone and picked him up and started doing, I don't know, Turkish get-ups in the middle of the room. They weren't even heavy. They were like 4 kilo ones. It made me mad. Another thing. So this was one of the first sessions I'd done in the gym since doing my induction, which was hilarious. There was a mature lady in there, we'll say mid to late 40s, early 50s, just lay on her side, doing the same movement as the abductor machines, but just doing the movement. And I was like, this is a prime example of why I can't literally walk around with these on. Leave me alone, headphones.
Yeah.
Listening to literally punk, heavy metal, or hip hop.
Punk.
Yeah. I like a bit of punk. It's very, it's very angry. So she's doing this, and the thought in my head was like, either there's 2 things going on here. Either you think you're doing something, but you're not.
Yeah.
Or 2, you know you're not doing something, and you're just saying, I went to the gym today.
Yeah, it's more likely.
Either one makes me mad.
The active wear women on the school run make me blood red, man.
Oh yeah. That's
because they fit at the beginning on the school drop off, and then on the collection, still wearing the same kit. If you've gone to the gym, you'd be sweaty and minging.
Mm-hmm. Well, not necessarily, because like last night I went down, and the way the machines are sort of set up, so over here you've got a leg press, here you've got adductor, here you got abductor. So I call it the fake gym corner.
Yeah.
And there were 2 girls, I'm going to say they drove, so they're going to be between sort of 17 and 21. They're in that age sort of bracket. Literally, another segment on this. They did like so many on the leg press, so they're sat down, just moving backwards and forwards. There's literally hardly any weight on there. They're discussing on their phones on, I don't know, whatever the fuck, but they're talking to each other and on their phones again as they're going. I'm like, you can't train properly if you're on your phone. I get it if it's in between your sets and you're training on your own. Passes time for the minute or whatever. Send a text. But to be actually working and on your be present. But yeah, so they're in their activewear, and I had the thought, right? So you know my favourite joggers, the grey jogger.
Yeah.
So they're both wearing the grey jogger, but in leggings material. Now, that's not going to go well if you get work on.
No, it's going to go all sorts of sweaty, and you'll see where you're sweating.
But not this two. Not this two. And
not a drop.
Wearing makeup. Oh, yeah. So the the segue after that was, now, I know I'm fairly strong. We'll say fairly strong, because there are people that are a lot fucking stronger than me. And I think I'm naturally quite balanced physically. But I want to know, who the fuck uses the weights before me, either the night before or they got there a little bit before me at 6 a.m. Because I can do those weights like this with my fingers. Honestly. And I don't know. And they're set up for like the crossover or whatever.
Yeah.
What you doing? Why? Again, like, are you just telling yourself you're doing something at the gym, or is that all you can move? Because if that's all you can, I can genuinely get two fingers. Those of you on the audio, I am moving my index finger and my middle finger from they're in a pointing position, and now they're horizontal. I can do that with the weights. Now I've got strong grip hands, but not that strong. And you're either doing some sort of movement or you're doing a cross. Either way, put more on. Because I'm not the biggest guy, and I know like I said, I'm moderately strong, but I can stack all of those for most exercises. So who's using them?
Female.
But I'm going to say, you'd think, wouldn't you? But you've been to many gyms over the last 20 years. You see many girls using a cable crossover machine?
Not really, no.
Not really.
That's a good point. Well presented.
I do like being in that gym setting, though, and doing shit that people don't understand. Like the Turkish get-up. I was doing that the other day. I did a tightrope press today, and people were looking at me like, what you doing? But I guarantee those people will try it when I'm not there. I saw a guy doing this, and they won't do it properly, because a tightrope press is actually really difficult.
I have a few that always say to me when I'm in there, oh, never seen anyone do that stuff before. So I'm just doing a deadlift, mate.
Yeah, that's the big thing about this place, and like, it's like all the plates, etc., are not set up for deadlifting. Yeah. They're too small. And I did have a joke, actually. I was talking to Berth at work. Shout out to Big Black Berth. I wonder what they'd do if I turned up with my bumper plates just under my arms. Oh, what are you doing, mate? I want to deadlift properly.
Yeah, one deadlift.
I mean, that's funny on two levels, isn't it? One, that why have they not just got the right size? Maybe because they don't want people deadlifting. I don't know. But also, it would be funny if I walked in with 60 kilos of bumper plates under each arm. You all right? What are you doing? Deadlift.
Deadlift day, mate.
So yeah, last week my body was in tatters because it went as hard as I used to go.
And you're like, and then your body's like, hey, ease me into this.
Yeah, but you know what's annoying about that? Is other than not being able to count and screwed myself on my first set of squats the other day, got stuck at the bottom.
Oh.
Yeah, I couldn't count. Thought I'd put 60 kilos on there as like sort of a warm up, put 120.
That's a big difference, mate.
That's a big difference. And also, I was a bit annoyed that I got stuck at the bottom because I used to be able to front squat like triple my body weight. Is that right? Or double? Double. And then I got stuck at 120 on a back squat. But other than that, this is where like physiology bugs me, because I can still do the things. So I did my pull-ups last week. Managed to, it was a bit of a struggle towards the end. Decided to go with just the 30 pull-ups, but do it in 3 sets of 10. Yeah. Did it. Did a few extra back exercises, nothing mental. Again, used the machines to finish off. I'm not joking you when I said that I could lift my elbows to shoulder height, but then couldn't push my hands above my head. The next day, I was there, and I would have to, as if I was pressing something, get them like that. So how can I physically do it if it's going to have that effect on my body the next day and the day after?
A good question.
And it will come down to recovery, etc. I understand that, but like, surely, if the muscle isn't capable of doing the task, then how can you still do it, but then literally like be immobile? And like I said, like I did my leg day. My legs are still hurting to an extent today. It's nearly a week later.
That's not good.
I don't think it's down to recovery, because
no, it's probably just...
my recovery practices have been pretty good, to be fair, because I didn't want this. I didn't want the pain. But again, I have had a very long layoff due to injuries and work commitments, and just being a bit lazy because I didn't have any reason to be training.
You're welcome.
But it is good. It is good. And I know we've talked about it loads before, and I've preached about it before, but it's good for your noggin as well.
It is good for your noggin.
It's free.
I did yesterday and today, and it's as though I've got that bug back to go and train properly. Like, tomorrow, into work, cycle home. I'll probably go to the gym on the way home as well. So good on my new iron horse.
Yeah.
Got a max speed of 42 miles an hour out of it the other day. Lightning, mate.
I'm going to say that wasn't on a flat road.
Oh, no, it was downhill, but legs are pumping, mate. What is the fucking time?
September.
10 pounds. I've got a shoot in a bit because I've got school run to do.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
But because this will probably be the latest episode to be aired, but tomorrow, the 4th of March, Granite Zero is 1 year old.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Zero.
Happy birthday, Zero. So I'll do a post. What? Tomorrow.
You love a post.
Love to post. But yeah, sweet as a nut, brother.
Yeah, I'm trying to post up what workouts I've been doing. Shit. I'm supposed to save them. Never mind. But any of the listeners want any, if you go to @the_Darren_Thompson on Instagram on my story, that's got the current stuff that I'm doing. I should probably just change that to Little Brown, shouldn't I?
Yeah, do it.
That's racist.
True.
Yeah, I'm sort of trying to log what I'm doing. No, I don't really know why, but I just put it out there.
That's good.
You can have a look. You can follow it if you want. It won't work for you because it's designed for me, but just to give you an idea for just different exercise combinations, I guess, and maybe a bit of variation on what you're doing in the gym. I used to do this a lot, you know.
Used to be your job.
Yeah, so I'll I've already posted about it, but a big thank you to Dead Mammoth Coffee Company for sending me a T-shirt. You didn't. Sean ordered the wrong size. But it is a great T-shirt. Looks cool, fits well. And yeah, I've got one too. I ain't got a hoodie, and that's literally got a mammoth hood on it.
It's lovely.
I am gonna just point this one out though. You're never gonna need a hood like that if you're wearing a hoodie. Because if it's cold enough for that hood, you're gonna have a jacket on.
Oh shit, dick.
It's like wearing shorts and a long sleeve T-shirt. Choose.
This is a nice jumper hoodie.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying this is how my stupid brain works, isn't it? I look at that and go, "Well, that doesn't fit." That should be on an Arctic coat.
Arctic coat.
Not on a sweatshirt. But no, it's cool. Okay. I don't know why you did that.
I was gonna have a dance, but I thought better of it.
Yeah. Thank you for thinking better of it.
It's awkward.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go now anyway. I've got to get Georgie's football kit ready for tonight. She's back in training. Back in training. Probably have another couple of weeks off games, but
Sweet as.
all right, mate.
All right, mate. Well, have a good time at work tonight as well.
Oh, I will.
All right, mate.
All right.
Beautiful. Lovely. Catch you in a bit.
Catch you in a bit.
Bye.
Bye-bye.